Yo, what is up, y'all? My name is Rob Donaldson, and welcome back to another edition of Rob's Best Bets. And we are once again talking about college hoops here on this fine Tuesday. And just as a heads up, y'all, as you can probably already tell out the gate, my vocal cords are in a rough position right now. I went to that Northern Iowa Drake game on Sunday, and, they gave us two halves and an overtime period of me just screaming, wanting to be part of a great environment, and I absolutely got what I asked for, and my vocal cords are predictably feeling the effects of wanting to be part of that environment. But at the same time, y'all, obviously we did take it on the chin here on Monday. If you did follow the bets on Twitter, again, if I never have a video or don't have a video upload for a specific day, I'm going to have a text post of our picks up on my Twitter /X account at RobDFB. But with all that being said, y'all, before we hop into Tuesday picks, let's go ahead and shout out today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. And this is a great slate that we have here on Tuesday, and we are going to have a player entry, a pick'em entry for Underdog over on my Twitter page as well. On Saturday, we hit the 6-1 pair, which is always a really nice way to, capitalize on a great Saturday that we were already having. But, when you're looking at Underdog, whether you like the daily fantasy scene or the pick'em entries, there's something for you. And if you go over there and sign up using promo code ROBDFB, they will also match your deposit match bonus at sign up. But with all that being said, y'all, I'm ready to hop into these Tuesday bets. All right, first up, we are heading out to the MAC, where we have a game between Buffalo and Central Michigan. And Buffalo has had a pretty disastrous season, and this has kind of been a string of disastrous seasons for the Buffs, because, man, ever since Nate Oates left, they really haven't been able to recruit the talent that's necessary to compete in a pretty tough mid-major league. But when you are looking at this matchup in particular, again, we talk about these sleepwalking type of spots, and I do feel like Central Michigan is a team right now in a position where they might overlook a team like Buffalo. And Buffalo, last time out in this matchup this season, actually won it outright. And so for that reason, I say we take one of our favorite things to do on this channel, a speculative stab at the money line. I don't want to be overly invested in this game because it could be a 30-point blowout, but at the same time, I do think that Buffalo could at least keep it within the number and have a chance to win, and the money line is 9-1, which kind of makes it a no-brainer. So let's go ahead and take the 15 points for 1.5 units, and for an additional full unit, let's go ahead and place it on the plus 900 money line here as well. For pick number 2, we are heading out to the A10, where we have a matchup between VCU and Richmond. This is an in-state rivalry game that over past years has looked really exciting, on paper, but as of late, obviously, with Richmond not really coming into this game with a glossy record and VCU being the top end team in this conference, it does feel a lot more lopsided than usual, and this line sitting at 14.5 points is pretty indicative of that fact. Now, Richmond has been playing better basketball down the stretch here, and again, this is a rivalry game, and VCU is coming off of that massive win over George Mason on Saturday, and for that reason, I say we take a shot here with Richmond, getting the 14.5 points for 2 units for our second play here on Tuesday. For pick number 3, we are heading back to the MAC, where we have Northern Illinois taking on Miami of Ohio, and Northern Illinois has actually been a surprisingly decent team, or at least a respectable team, down the stretch of this season, and I get it, their record is pretty darn terrible. They've only won 5 games all season long, but every single game that they've played in their last 11 have been decided by 10 points or less, and the only 2 times that it was decided by exactly 10 points was against Akron, which I think is the best team in the MAC conference right now. And when you're looking at Miami of Ohio, this is a team that I think could absolutely overlook a team like a Northern Illinois. They are coming off of a massive win on Friday and just a really great season overall, where their expectations and their goals are set a lot higher than just blowing out Northern Illinois. And for that reason, I say we take the 14.5 points with the Huskies for 2 units for our third play here on Tuesday. For pick number 4, we are heading out to a really fun rivalry game in the Sun Belt between App State and Georgia Southern. And you might be asking me, Rob, we just bet on this game last week and we covered with Georgia Southern and nearly got the money line when they were catching 9.5 points. And yeah, you're right. The deeper than hate rivalry did take place last week, and it was a great game and a great bet by us. It was a pretty large bet by us. And in this game right here, we're getting the deeper than hate rivalry once again. I do feel like Georgia Southern gets this one here, but unfortunately, we're not getting that 9.5. We're not getting the 4-1 money line. We're getting 2 points. And, I say we take them for 2 units for our fourth play here on Tuesday. For pick number 5, we are heading out to the Missouri Valley Conference where we have Indiana State taking on Murray State. And it's been a real disappointing season for Murray State and for Indiana State, but more so reasonably so for Indiana State because they lost their entire roster. They lost their head coach, and it was kind of a rebuilding year from the jump for them. But Murray State, on the other hand, had expectations in this conference, and they have absolutely flatlined. And in this game, I totally understand the appeal of betting Murray State at home over the years, but this just doesn't feel like one of them. And Indiana State is getting 6 points here. I say we take them for 3 units for our fifth play here on Tuesday. All right, for our final play here on Tuesday, we are heading out to Champaign, Illinois, where we have Iowa taking on Illinois. And Illinois is coming off of that game where they got absolutely drubbed against Duke on a neutral floor in Madison Square Garden. Couldn't have drawn up a more embarrassing outcome in that game, and unfortunately we did have a pretty large bet on Illinois in that game as well. But when you're looking at Iowa here, they dealt with a really actually tough battle on Saturday against Washington at home before kind of scrapping out a win. And in this game, when you look at their last 5 road losses, and I'm going to count this as kind of in that tier because I do think that they're going to lose this game, but when you look at their last 5 road losses, 22 points is the average margin of defeat on the road in Big Ten play. It has not been pretty, and for that reason, I do think Illinois gets up. I think they are the better looking roster. I think they match up extremely well against the Hawkeyes, and for that reason, I say we go ahead and lay the 9.5 points here for 3 units for our final bet here on Tuesday. All that being said, I really want to thank you guys for checking out today's video, and if you do want to show some love, make sure you drop a like in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you comment down below. And I appreciate you guys for sticking it through. I obviously have some really rough vocal cords at the moment, and yeah, I just appreciate you guys checking out the channel and supporting the way that you do. But with all that being said, y'all, I will see you in a future video. Take it easy.